do not come to the phone. Leave a message at the tone.
Bitch, enter the phone. It's your bestie. Duh.
Last night you were looking so bright, I don't wanna mess up. You were ready dressed up. What I want, all your hands are defense.
Hi, bestie, and welcome to episode 2 of the Up, Down, and Everything in Between podcast. I honestly can't believe I'm saying that. Episode 2. Normally, whenever I start things, I never see them through. So the fact that I'm sitting here with you right now talking about episode 2 is bonkers. And what's even more nuts is this weekend I will be shooting episode 3 with my best friend. Now, as excited as I am to be having my first episode with a guest and to be my best friend, my bestie for the restie, y'all, first of all, pause. Super duper duper excited to be doing that with her. She is my rock. She's my number one supporter and my biggest fan in everything that I do. And before it gets too mushy, I just want to keep it short and brief and say that I don't know where I'd be without her. I don't know who I'd be without her. I've never had anyone believe in me the way that she believes in me. And as much as she would hate to admit it, love me unconditionally the way that she does. So if you're listening, bestie, I love you. That's gross. I take it back. Anyhow, I have plans. I'm actually doing what I wanted to do. I'm doing exactly what I came on here and set out to do. And that to me is an accomplishment. Give me a snap. So let's dive into my week last week, besties. I started a diet. Let's start there. And I know what you're thinking. Bestie, why a diet? Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something about how I watched that footage last week and then came back and did all the editing. And this right here, this little turkey gobble that y'all keep saying, every time I talked, I saw it. I saw it. And not to say that like I feel any type of way about my appearance, because obviously, obviously I'm a baddie. Like, obviously I'm her. I'm that girl. But I just feel like there's always something that we can all improve about ourselves. And for me, that's it. That's all. Nothing crazy. Nothing like insane. Nothing too wild. That's it. I don't know if any of you guys have heard about the fruit diet, but y'all, that's a scam. It's a scam. I'm sorry. Shoot me. I could not get past it. And I told you guys in the beginning, I'm going to keep it real with you. I had a smoothie that morning when I woke up. I took a smoothie to work. I got off of work at 11. By 1 a.m., I was eating a cup of noodles because it's all I had at the house at the moment. Hashtag broke. Brokey. Sorry, I couldn't do it. No. That was awful. I couldn't make it past 24 hours. I didn't even make it 24 hours, to be real with you. Because your girl likes to eat. Y'all, I like to eat and I love to cook, okay? And then not only was I on this diet, I was the only person on the diet. Everyone else around me was eating food. Despite the fact that I didn't finish, I was determined to at least keep up my exercise routine because I was supposed to do 4 2-mile walks every week. And I only did 1 last week. Oop. Anyhow, moving on. So that's how the diet went, y'all. It didn't go too well. Try again next year. Let's get to this date. I know that's what y'all been waiting for. I know you've been waiting for it because I was waiting for it too all week. I was waiting for it too all week. And then the weekend came and it was finally time for this date. First of all, let me give you a little background. I've been talking to this little guy for about 3 or 4 months now. I stopped losing count because I feel like he might be playing with me. I do. I don't want to be naive about dating anymore. I just don't. It's not fun. Being naive about it isn't fun anymore. But I started talking to this little guy about 3-ish months ago, and pretty much he thinks I'm dumb because we ended up picking a picnic for our first date. Keep in mind, first off, red flag, We've been talking for 3 months, almost 4, and this is our first date. Okay, sure. Don't know why mama stayed around for so long, but I did. We had planned a date previously. However, he ended up getting injured and he told me that he couldn't make it. I am the queen of knowing things happen because things happen, y'all. Life happens, and I didn't want to be bitter and cold from past relationships and jump to the gun and be like, how convenient. But we all know I was thinking, how convenient. How convenient that you got injured like 4 hours before we're supposed to meet. That's crazy. So we moved forward and he was like, we can reschedule. I mentally, he did not know this. I gave him literally a week to hit me up and be like, yo, shawty, let's reschedule that date. He did. He hit me up like 2 or 3 days later, maybe 4 at the max, and was like, hey, when do you want to reschedule? And I was like, okay. So he's not ditching and dodging me. Or so I thought. Or so I thought. Okay? Because fast forward to our date last weekend, I was cooking and cooking and cooking my little butt off. I made shish kebabs. I made pasta salad. I made a banana pudding. I ended up cutting up a pineapple. I also bought some chips and chocolate covered pretzels and some candies. And then I bought a little thing of Welch's grape juice because he's an athlete and I didn't know if he could drink or not. So I did all of this and I bought this blanket and I bought this little game, and the dang gone game, y'all, cost me $20. I think that's the thing I'm the maddest about, was the game cost me $20. I don't know what y'all put in these games these days, but they're way too expensive. And it's not even like that it was just too pricey. It's the fact that I paid $20 for a game we didn't even play. And I don't know if we'll ever play it or if I'll ever play it because it was a couple's game, y'all. It was a game to get to know your partner. So I was like, oh my God, how perfect for this date because he barely ever says anything to me over text. I feel like when we are texting, I do most of the talking. And pause before you get to judgy, because I know what you're thinking, bestie. I know you're like, bestie, do you not see the red flag? Are you blind, bestie? I'm not blind, y'all. I'm a hopeless romantic. I just wanted to give him the benefit of the doubt, to be honest. So he shows up to this date. Mind you, he was late. So he texts me, his text message reads, will you still be ready around 4 or will you be ready earlier because I'm about to get mobile? Pause. Am I the only one who didn't know what it meant to get mobile? Apparently, it means that you're about to have access to a vehicle or be able to drive. I had no idea. And I don't know if it's a sign of the times and it just means that I'm getting old or if we don't speak the same slang. I'm not 100% sure. I'm not going to guess about it. It is what it is. Keep in mind, guys, I don't know if I mentioned this earlier. Me and this guy were not actually supposed to meet till 5. That was the agreed upon time, 5. So here it is, 2 something, and I'm booty butt naked, fresh out the shower, then shower, shaved, exfoliated, all the goody stuff. And I realized that I still haven't done my hair and makeup. So I'm rushing through my makeup, rushing through my hair, and I am pulling out of my driveway when I get a text from him. Mind you, it's like 10 minutes till 4. When I get a text from him saying ETA says 4:20, I'm leaving so and so town now. Okay, fine. At least you're on your way. So from there, I decide that I'm just gonna go and set up. I'm just gonna go get everything set up. So I go to the park and I'm getting everything set up. 4:20 rolls around, and then 4:30 rolls around. 4:31, 4:32, 4:35, and it wasn't until 4:38 that I get a text from him saying, "Where are you at?" You're late twice. You're doubly late now. Okay, cool. So I'd say I'm here, I'm sitting on the blanket, and he says, oh, I see you. I'm on the phone with my mom. Give me a second. He finally gets out of the car and he walks over to me, and I noticed that he's looking good. Cannot cap. He is looking good. Okay? He has this tatted hand, which I already knew he had tattoos, but like I finally seeing them in person, and his hand is bigger than mine, and he's tall, y'all. He's tall, y'all. He's tall. I'm 5'4". I'm a little shoddy, okay? So tall men do something to me, y'all. So he's looking good. He got that fit on, and then his tattoos, and he's tall. I'm like, okay, you know what? Forget about everything else. Forget about canceling the first date. Forget about him being doubly late. Forget about the fact that he sat in his car with his mom on the phone for multiple minutes while I just sat there and looked stupid. Forget about it, because he showed up and he's looking scrumdiddlyumptious. Chef's kiss. And he sits down after shaking my hand. And we're getting started, and then his phone rings. Okay, cool. The conversation sounds a little concerning. And I ask him, I say, is everything okay? He says, yes. Continue to read the instructions of the game. And he's like eating some shish kebabs while I'm reading the instructions of the game. My phone rings. We have to stop. And again, and I'm telling my friend, hey, yo, I'm at the park. I'll call you back. Coolie, Nulio. Fast forward 3 minutes, and he's about to start the game because it's his turn. We've read all the instructions. I've told him everything that we have to eat, and we're sitting there on this picnic table. I indulge with him a little bit of conversation, and I say, are you nervous? He's like, no. I was like, oh, I'm nervous. So he knows I'm nervous. The man decides to tell me he has to leave. It gave when you call your friend before you go hang out with that guy that you really don't want to hang out with, and you say, hey, in 10 minutes, call me with a big emergency. And I feel like that might have been what he was doing in the car. Like he might have been on the phone with somebody and be like, I really don't want to be here with Shawty right now. Call me in a few minutes with a big emergency, please. And someone called him and had an emergency. And then the thing that really ticked me was when I asked him when he took the phone call if everything was okay. He was like, yeah, no, everything's fine. 4 minutes later, now you have to go. I'm confused. I am literally confused. And he's like, next time it's on me. Next time, like, if you want to still talk to me, like, everything's on me. So he's like, I can come back if you want. I can come back. I can most definitely come back if you want. But I don't know if you want to wait that long. If you don't mind waiting that long, I'll come back. So I'm like, actually, yeah, I'll wait, because I took my hard time putting all of this together, and it took me a long time. It really took most of my off day the day before, or my time off before having to go to work, and then I got off of work at 7 a.m. and I still managed to meet you here today, even though that's when I was supposed to be shooting this episode. Glad I didn't, because I wouldn't have this tea for y'all, babes. So he agrees that he'll come back. If I'm still waiting, he'll come back. I'm waiting, and after an hour, like, I haven't even heard from him. And so my friend was like, halfway through that hour, she's like, send him a text. Or a little bit after that hour, she goes, send him a text. See if your number's blocked. Because if your number's blocked, that means he's not coming back, and he has no intention on coming back, and he's blocked you and he's gone. And you're sitting at a park right now looking like an idiot. An idiot. So I text him and my number goes through. My text goes through. And on top of that, the messages are still blue. He has an iPhone gang. Whoop whoop. You know the vibes. Anyhow, it takes him a little, like 10 or 11 minutes, and he's like, oh, we're still out here. And then, okay, I was like, okay, cool. I hope everything's okay with your brother. And then he texts me later and tells me he doesn't want me waiting up on him because it's taking longer than he expected. Yeah, so that's how my week went, and that's why this episode is late. And that is what we have going on. The diet. If you guys remember lastly, before we start to wrap it up, I told you guys I will be doing a song of the week, something that's on my repeat. And right now on my repeat is called Sabor. It's by Obed Padilla, and it is literally like an R&B take on spicy Latin music. Y'all, I love it. It's on repeat. I'm not kidding y'all. you have to go and give this song a listen. If you haven't heard of Obed, please go and give this song a listen. It is spelled Sabor by Obed, Obed, Padilla, Padilla. Go out there and give that a listen. I promise you'll be just as obsessed as I am. So, other than that, babes, other than me being crazy, crazy, crazy out here in this crazy world trying to find love, and other than my diet, there's nothing new with me. Now, I want you guys to not forget to tune in next week for me and my besties episode. With all of that being said, thank you so much, guys, for tuning in to episode 2. And as you know, if you've made it this far, drop down in the comments below and say, hey, bestie, because I appreciate you guys showing me love and I want to show you a little bit of love back. So again, if you've made it this far to the video, comment down in the comments below, like and subscribe if you're not already doing so. And until next time, I'll keep you in my prayers and I love you. Bye, babes.